dear students, hope you are doing well and welcome back to your study. People have different styles, not only in the way of living but also in the places where they live. Some people choose to live in a simple and a normal house, while others prefer to live in an unusual place or home or house. We can say that a unique home can often be a beautiful one, and if you own an unusual house, you can be the envy of all. So here today's lesson deals with some people who experience feeling of living in such houses or places. So here in this lesson we are going to know some new phrases and some new words that will help you to speak about the place you live in and the other people live in. So here in the first module, as I said, which is entitled Feels Like Home. Feels Like Home. This is the title of the first module that we are studying today. So here in this module, as I said, we are going to know some phrases that are related to the house and the way of people's life. So here in this picture you find some phrases like here, home is where the heart is, live out of a suitcase, make yourself at home, a home away from home, home sweet home, and as I mentioned before, here in the title of the module, Feels Like Home. The question here, what does each idiom or each phrase mean and when can we use it? Here, feels like home. It's an expression or phrase used when we want to show that we are at a place where we feel comfortable and relaxed as if we were in our home. Here, home is where the heart is. This expression means here, a home is where the people you love are. Live out of a suitcase is to travel a lot so that you have no time to unpack your belongings. Make yourself at home. Use to tell somebody or someone who is visiting you that they should relax and feel comfortable as if they were in their own home. A home away from home. This phrase means that a place that you find as pleasant and comfortable as your own home. Home sweet home is another phrase that's used to say how pleasant it's to be in your home. After reading these phrases, do you understand what they mean? If you understand the meaning of each one, so give it a try to use them each one in a separate sentence. Another question, do you agree with what they are trying to say? Yes, give it a try to write the answer in a separate sheet paper. What things are important when making a home? Give it a try to think and write your answer. So here the question, what is the difference between a house and a home? If you ask this question, if you are asked what is the difference between house and home, what are you going to say? Simply speaking, house refers to the building where you live, while home refers to the place where you live and feel comfortable. This is the difference between the two. Also here, what unusual places can you think of to live in? If you look at the picture or remember the picture that we have before, so you can think, what unusual places can you think of to live in? And would you like to live somewhere unusual? Why and why not? So here, some places or some unusual places like treehouse, boots, caves, and also warehouse. So here, would you like to live somewhere unusual? Why and why not? For me, yes, I would like to live in an unusual place because it would be something out of. So here in your student book, page 8, we have 3 different paragraphs. In each paragraph, someone is telling us about his experience of living in an unusual place. Now we are going to listen to this paragraph to what he is saying about his experience of living in an unusual house, and then we are going to understand the meaning of the new vocabularies. And please, if you don't understand the meaning of word, please give it a try to write it down. So let's listen.
I live in an old fire station that I converted into a house last year when I moved out of my parents' place. My friends thought I was out of my mind at first, but now they love it too. It's a spacious building, so I've got plenty of room to put all my belongings. I've even got my own gym and entertainment room. My friends often drop by, so I never get lonely living here. The only drawback is that I've got more expenses than before, for heating during the winter and furniture to fill up the space. Most people want to know if I use the fire pole. The answer is, all the time.
So here, after listening to this paragraph, to this person who is speaking about his experience in living in a fire station, now we are going to highlight the words which seems to be new and are going to explain what each word means. So let's start. The word converted into. Converted into, or the word convert here means to cause something or someone to change in form, or character, or opinion. My dorm. A large room containing many beds, especially in a boarding school or university. Out of ordinary. Out of one's head. Out of one's sense. Spacious. Spacious places large in size or area. Drop by means to stop in for a short visit or to make a short visit. Drawback. Disadvantage. Demerit. Expenses. Something requiring the expenditure of money. Fill up. To become full or to make something become full. Okay, so here we are going to ask you some questions to make sure that we understand this lesson carefully. Where does he live? We are speaking about the first paragraph. You are going to read the first paragraph, paragraph A, and then answer these questions. Where does he live? He lives in an old fire station. Where did he live before he moved into his new house? He lived with his parents at his parents' place. What did his friends think when he moved into his new house? They thought that he was out of his mind. How do they feel about his house now? They love it. Does he ever get lonely living there? No, he doesn't. Why not? Because his friends often drop by, and we said that the word drop by to make a short visit. Why does he need more furniture? To fill up the space. Does he use the fire pole? Yes, he does. Let's move to the next paragraph, and now we are going also to listen to this paragraph, and I hope that you read it carefully, and then we are going to explain the words which seems to be new. Listen.
People usually wonder why I chose to live in a lighthouse. The truth is, I wanted first-hand experience, as I'm currently writing a book about living in a lighthouse. So I chose it as my temporary residence. I settled in very quickly, and I tried to enjoy every minute of it. I'm a long way away from shops and restaurants, but I don't mind, though. I love being so near the sea. Every morning I climb the spiral stairway to the top of the tower and drink my coffee while admiring the view. That's when I remember how lucky I am at the moment. Of course, there are days when it seems like the loneliest and most isolated place in the world. But at least I've got access to the internet and I can stay in touch with my friends and family.
So here let's take a look upon the new words. A lighthouse. A tall building by the sea with a flashing light at the top to warn shops of dangerous rocks. Currently, of the present time. Temporary. Not lasting or needed for very long. Residence. A home. Settled in. To become familiar with somewhere new, such as a new house, job, or school, and to feel comfortable and happy there. Spiral. A shape made up of curves, each one above or wider than the one before. Admiring. To respect and approve of someone or their behavior, or to find somewhere or something attractive and pleasant to look at. Isolated. Not near to other places. Access. the method or possibility of getting near to a place or person, or the right to use or look at something. Stay in touch with, to be connected with other people in regular basis. So here we have some questions, depends upon paragraph B. Where does she live? The answer, she lives in a lighthouse. Why did she choose to live in a lighthouse? Because she wanted first-hand experience. She is writing a book about living in a lighthouse. What does she do every morning? She climbed the spiral stairway to the top of the tower and drinks her coffee while admiring the view. How does she stay in touch with her family and friends? Over the internet. Let's move to paragraph C, and now also we are going to listen to this paragraph and give it a try to underline or to write the new words and wait for the meaning of each one. So let's listen.
A few months ago, my wife and I bought a houseboat. In the beginning, we only stayed for a few days at a time. But now we've decided to make it our permanent home, and we're moving in at the end of this week. The truth is that we face many difficulties, and we're still trying to get used to it. For one thing, it's a little bit cramped, and we have to use space wisely. Also, we haven't got electricity all the time, and when we go shopping, we can't buy a lot, because it's a long walk to the boat with heavy bags. We might be far from shops, but we're in a great location, and we still have our peace and quiet. Not many people wake up and see swans outside their window or float away if they get tired of the view.
Now let's take a look upon the new words. Permanent means lasting for a long time or forever. Cramped, not big enough for people or things. So here, some questions to make sure that we understand paragraph C. What did they buy a few months ago? A houseboat. Did they move in straight after they put it? No, they didn't. When are they moving in? At the end of this week. Have they got a lot of space on their houseboat? No, they haven't. Why can't they buy a lot of shopping? Because it's difficult to store some food without electricity, and it's a long walk to the boat with heavy bags. Do they like the location they are in? Yes, they do. What are some of the advantages of living on a houseboat? You have your peace and quiet. You wake up and see swans outside your window, and you can float away if you get tired of the view. So here, after reading these three paragraphs, we have here one question. What do the people think of their homes? We are going to choose from these choices, A, B, C, or D. I'm going to give you here seconds to read them and to decide before we know the answer. Yes, I think here, from reading these three paragraphs, we know that the answer is number C. Here, they are satisfied with their home, but are facing certain difficulties. So what does the word difficulty here mean? Difficulties here, disagreements or disputes. Okay, so here, the answer is number C. As they said, they are all satisfied with their home, but they are having some certain difficulties there. So here we are going to, again, from your book or your student book, page 8, you are going to look at these three paragraphs again, and then we are going to answer A, B, or C. Again, read the three paragraphs again and answer the question below. Write A, B, or C. So here the first one. Who doesn't find his or her home comfortable or easy to live in? The answer is number is number C. We find it in paragraph number C. Home mentions refers that the place will be his or her home for a short time. I think it's here in paragraph B. Who has to spend more money than before? Number A. In the fire station. Who has more space than he or she really needs? Also in number A. Who has to sometimes cope with loneliness, to get accustomed to deal with. Cope with means to deal with. It's here number B. Who used the place for recreational purpose? In number A. Who wants other people to know about his or her experience? It's number B. Who mentions making changes to the place? It's mentioned in number A. Also here from the text. Read the text again, and we are going to find words or phrases in the text that have the same meaning of each one. So here, the word crazy. If we look at the paragraph A, in the text we'll find a word means crazy. So what is this word or phrase? Out of mind. Out of mind means crazy. Number 2 here, the things that you own and can carry with you. It's mentioned also in text number A. It's here belongings. Disadvantages. It's also mentioned in text A, in the paragraph A. I think it's drawback. Number 4, at the present time. It's mentioned in text B, on paragraph B. I think it's currently. So here number 5, a place where somebody lives. It's mentioned in text B or in paragraph B, which is residence. A tall, narrow building or a part of a building. It's mentioned in text number B, which is tower. Far away from other buildings or towns, etc. And difficult to reach. It's mentioned in text number B, which is isolated. It's an adjective, by the way. Lasting for a long time, not temporary. It's mentioned in text number C, which is permanent. To have to deal with a problem or a situation. It's mentioned in C, which is to face something, is to deal with it. Now here with your partner, with one of your friends, ask him the first question and listen to his answer. Which of the 3 mentioned unusual homes would you like to live in? Ask this question to your friend and listen to his answer. And let your friend ask you the second question. Which home do you think is the strangest one to live in and why? So here you have to make this discussion with your friend. Here also we can find some words or vocabulary that will help you to describe places. For example, here we find the word cramped. What does this word mean? And also the word spacious. For one thing, it's a little bit cramped and we have to use the space wisely. Okay, so here cramped means without enough space for people to move around in. The opposite of this word is spacious, which means with plenty of space for people to move around in. So here these words will help you to describe a place where you live in. We are going here to another words. So here, read the sentences and match the adjectives in bold with the definition. These words, we have 3 words here. The word furniture, luxurious, inviting. What does each word mean? Number 1, here furniture, what does it mean? A place available to be rented with furniture in it. Luxurious means something that's very comfortable and expensive. Inviting, with one word, attractive. So here something that's inviting means it has good qualities that attract you. So inviting means attractive. So here, I think number 3 here is number A. And the number B, here number 1 is number B, furniture, containing furniture. And number 2 is number 3, comfortable and expensive and beautiful. Number 3 here, inviting means attractive, makes you feel welcome. So here, my dear students, In this lesson, we have know the difference between house and home. We know different adjectives that we can use to describe places where we live. And here we have known some unusual places where people can live. And also we studied some phrases